Considering its breathtaking performance, the Rimac Neverra is actually not the most dramatic hypercar to look at. That's not to say that it won't turn heads, but it's obvious that the focus has been on function over form, and aerodynamics above all else. The car rides on 20-inch wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. The active aerodynamic systems are found all over the Neverra. There is a front underbody flap, a hood flap that reduces drag, and an active rear wing. In range mode, the underbody vents are closed and the rear wing is retracted for lower drag. As for that rear wing, it also functions as an air brake that can activate in just 0.2 seconds. Finally, there are active flaps in the rear valance that manipulate airflow and improve cooling. At 187 inches in length, the two-door Neverra is significantly longer than the Bugatti Chiron. The Rimac is 78.2 inches in width, a low 47.6 inches in height, and has a 108.1-inch wheelbase. At 4,740 pounds, the Neverra is over 500 pounds heavier than a Chiron, no doubt because of the car's electronic components. Just as well, then, that it has almost 2,000 horsepower to wipe out any hint of a disadvantage caused by its weight. The numbers are simply staggering. With 4 electric motors, the Rimac Neverra produces a sensational 1,914 horsepower and 1,740 pound-foot of torque. Each wheel is powered independently by one of these motors, allowing for maximum traction and dramatically different dynamic behavior depending on which mode the car is in. It all translates to a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of only 1.85 seconds, although Rimac specifies that this is on a high-friction surface with a 1-foot rollout. No gas-only models can compete with that, and even the 1,020 horsepower Tesla Model S Plaid, the fastest sedan in the world, is slower. The quarter-mile time is just as impressive, with the Neverra taking just 8.582 seconds for this. That's comfortably quicker than the previous record attained by the Plaid of just over 9 seconds. A top speed of 258 miles per hour is attainable in the Neverra, but that would no doubt quickly drain the battery. Still, just knowing it can be done is what sets apart this electric hypercar from everything else. It's not just the total outputs of 1,914 horsepower and 1,740 pound-foot that are impressive. It's how the 4 electric motors work together so that the driver can actually use all of it. These 4 independent, surface-mounted, carbon sleeve, permanent magnet electric motors are positioned at each wheel. The Neverra also has 4 independent inverters and gearboxes. This enables all-wheel drive with software-controlled torque vectoring. The rear motors are more powerful, making 653 horsepower each, whereas those in front make 299 horsepower each. At the back, there is a double single-speed direct drive gearbox, effectively 2 gearboxes in one housing positioned between the motors. In front, there are 2 single-speed gearboxes, but these are each placed at the outer end of the axle. The whole setup requires 5 cooling systems and 2 refrigerant circuits. The final piece of the complex puzzle is a 120 kWh lithium-manganese-nickel battery. To drive, the AWD Rimac is quite docile at first. You know the power is there, but you can navigate congested streets effectively if you need to. When space opens up, though, nothing can quite prepare you for the organ repositioning acceleration that follows. It is mind-bendingly fast, and shockingly easy to reach illegal speeds. The 2-seater cabin has been designed to suit both track driving and grand touring. Rimac has divided the space into 2 zones, with the top segment being focused on performance and driving pleasure, and the lower section containing infotainment controls and comfort feature settings. There is a trio of TFT screens that can be customized to show the amount of information desired by the driver. While far from a Bentley in terms of luxury, the Nevera is built to a high standard. This is noticeable in details like the billet aluminum used for the rotary controls, and the soft upholstery for the seats. There is only space for 2 lucky individuals in the 2-door Rimac Neverra sports car, and that's exactly how it should be. There is enough legroom and headroom for even taller people over 6 feet, and the cabin feels appreciably wide too. The seats are snug, with good side support so that you don't go flying out of them at the speeds this car is capable of. Unlike some other hypercars, the Rimac affords the driver good visibility, which makes it more practical to drive every day. The EPA has not yet published MPGe specs for the Rimac Neverra, but the absence of an ICE engine means you can avoid the shocking fuel economy and costs of something like a Bugatti Chiron. Not that anyone buying a Nevera will be concerned about running costs, of course. According to the automaker, the Nevera has a range of up to 340 miles based on the WLTP cycle. We expect that number to be closer to 300 miles when the EPA shares its findings. The 120 kWh battery can be recharged from 0 to 80% in as little as 19 minutes with 500 kilowatts DC fast charging when this becomes available. With 350 kilowatts charging, that time increases to 25 minutes, and to 30 minutes at 250 kilowatts.